And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with the Game Boy Geek.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today, we're all going to be gathering around, trying to bet on a race. We're going to be trying to influence this race as well. What kind of race? Is it cars? Is it horses? Is it dogs? Today we're looking at a Camel race. We're looking at Camel Up, the one and only Spiel Jahres winner, 2014. I got my hands on a copy from Z-Man Games. They had a few for sale there at Gen Con. I just got back. I'll show you how it's played. It's for 2 to 8 players. Plays in 30 minutes. Let's show you how it's played. I'll see you on the other side. Cool thing about this is the back of the board. The artwork on this is really cool. It looks like they're running fast and they're all on top of each other. Really cool detail too. I love it when people do cool things like this on the back of the boards. Other publishers, take note. Good job, Z-Man. At the beginning of the game, every person gets to select one of these 8 characters. Well, they'll grab some cards for those characters. They also take the corresponding desert tile for that person that has their face on it, and they get 3 Egyptian pounds or dollars. That's the money in the game, and the youngest player gets this start player token. So the board's set up here. The camels, a die for their colors rolled randomly at the beginning of the game, and they get set up into these random spots of a starting spot. They're going to be racing around here, and you're trying to make money by betting on them in different legs, and then also hopefully guessing who's going to cross this line first. So on your turn, there is one of 4 things you can do. One of the actions is you can take one of these pyramid tiles, which has a die on it. You'll take this and put it in front of you. At the end of the leg, which means once every camel's moved once, you will end up getting $1 for being a person that rolled the dice. This is probably the coolest part of the whole game. You take this pyramid, turn it upside down, you shake it, you put it down, you push in and out, and it puts out a die. It's really a cool thing. It's really fun to do. Green got a 1. So we put the green 1 on the tent. We would move green 1. Now in this game, if a camel's on top of you, first of all, they're in the lead. So right now, blue is technically in the lead of the race. And since green moves, but he moves everybody that's on top of him as well, just like that. Now, if blue had moved 1, he would have just went like that, and they would have been separated. And if later green had moved 1, now he would be in the lead there. But in this case, green had moved 1, so it goes just like that. Another thing you can do is place one of your oasis tiles. That was one of the tiles I showed at the beginning. Now you can place it in any place that doesn't have a camel, and it can't be placed next to an adjacent square that already has one of these from another player, because every player has one of these. When you place this tile, you can place it on 1 or 2 sides. This side here has an oasis that says +1. If a camel lands on this, because I have the +1 side up, they will move 1 additional spot. You will always get a $1 for any time a camel lands on there. The other side is a desert side, which is -1. And so if rolled 1 for yellow again, if he went 1, you'd get $1, and he'd go -1. Now if he goes -1, instead of jumping on top like he does when he moves forward, they actually move underneath the pile, like that. So that's how that would work there. And so you can place this, and depending on maybe who you've been betting on this round, that will help you control a little bit of what the camels do. Another thing you can do on your turn is take one of these betting tiles. These betting tiles are going to be good for, again, the end of the leg. And the leg ends again when each one of the dies are out, all the camels have moved once. Now, each of these betting tiles, there's 3 stacked in each one. Let's see, we have 1 for each thing: blue, green, orange, yellow, and white. So there's a stack for each of the camels that are on the board. Let's take a closer look at these tiles. So if I take this tile, what I'm saying is I'm betting that this camel is going to be in first at the end of this leg, which is once they've all moved just once. If he's in first, on top, in first, leading, I'm gonna get $5 for this. If he's in second, I'm gonna get $1. If he's in third, fourth, or fifth, I'm gonna have to pay $1. Now the rest of the tiles for blue, so once someone takes this, what's left is an identical tile, except instead of 5, it's 3, and then the last one is instead of 5, it's 2. So when you look at these 3 together, they always stack 5 first, 3 second, 2 last. So if the person that gets there first has the most gamble, you'd lose the same if you get any of these tiles, but if you're the first one to kind of bet on that one, you get the most reward for having the most intuition at that point. The last action you can take is trying to bet on the overall winner or loser of the race, not just the leg, which is what we've been talking about so far. This is actually the end of the race. Over here we see a little guy on a podium. That's who you're going to be betting on to win, and it has the camel on top, which also shows you it's to win. Now what you do is on your turn, you have all these cards of each of the camels to start the game. You'll pick which color. Now these are the ones that have your character on it that you picked, and they have one of each color. And let's say I think blue's going to win. I will put it face down there. Now everyone knows that I bet on the winner. And so if you wanted to bet on who was going to lose, you would do the same thing there. Now, at the end of the game, let's say there were, I don't know, and you can put as many cards in there as you want. So let's say other people over the course of the game went like that. And let's say blue, in fact, did win. We would flip them over, which now means that they're going to be in order of who placed them there. So we look at this. If blue did win, the first person to say blue is going to get 8 points. So this character, whoever was the purple lady, gets $8. This one said white, he's going to get -1. He's going to have to pay 1. Orange, -1. Blue, he's the second one. He's going to get 5. Yellow, -1. Orange, -1. So that's how those betting things work. And it works the same for the loser. Same exact way, same points, just winning or losing. That happens at the end of the game. So let me just speed the round up and show you what would happen at the end of the round. So let's just say people were just rolling dice. White would move 2. So white would go 1, 2, and white ended on a desert tile with a +1, so he would go here. That person would get $1. And again, people would be normally betting and doing other things other than just rolling, but I kind of want to show you how the moving rolls up. Now, 1 for blue. Blue's on top. He's going to go here. This person's going to get $1, and he's going to move back 1. So I had taken blue to win before. Now I'm kind of mad. Now everyone might be starting to take the green guy to win, and these tiles are probably going to get taken pretty fast. And those would probably happen. Yellow moves 3, so yellow's going to go 1, 2, 3. Ooh, all those people that just took the green tile are mad because now it looks like yellow's going to win. And people will be grabbing the yellow tiles. And then we see, ooh, orange goes 3, 1, 2, 3. And now everybody's mad. Oh my gosh, because now orange is in the lead. Everyone's going, what? Nobody thought orange was going to be in the lead. He was in the last. And that is the craziness that happens. Now that all the dice are out, all 5 dice are out, that ends a leg. We do leg scoring. So this might have been mine. I might have been the one to roll 2 dice during the round, so I would get $2, 1 for each of those. And then we look at my betting tile. Blue came in 4th, actually, so I have to pay 1. Green came in 3rd, so I have to pay another one. So I basically broke even. I didn't make any round that leg. But hey, if somebody had grabbed the orange or the yellow one at the very end there, or they had thought they were going to win, they would be making a lot of money. So that's how you would score a leg. And then everyone, basically, we put the dice back in the pyramid, and you pull these tiles back, you put everything back, and you start a new leg. All right, so all the tiles got put back in the right order, the dice get put back in here, all the desert tiles get given back to the people, all the pyramid tiles get filled back up. We take the start player, and it goes to the left of the person that rolled the last die. Then we start another leg, and we keep doing that until one person wins. As soon as it wins, you end the game, you do an immediate leg scoring, which we just saw, and then we do the final scoring, which is what I showed you earlier about those final bets. Whoever has the most money at the end is the winner. There's Camel Up. Well, there's something to be said for expectations. I often find myself that when I have huge expectations for a game, a lot of times I don't live up to it. And conversely, like 5 Tribes from Gen Con, ones that I didn't have huge expectations for, sometimes they just blow your mind away. This game came with obviously a lot of expectations. Spiel de Jahres, even being a nominee, put some pretty heavy expectations on the game, let alone being the winner. So, what do I think? The first time we played this game, it was myself, Z Garcia from the Dice Tower, Jason from the Dice Tower, a bunch of Dice Tower guys. It was late at night at Gen Con, we played it, and the first time we played it, we all hated it. We hated this game the first time we played it. Hated it. I mean, we thought we were doing something wrong. We were hoping that we were doing something wrong in the rules because we're like, this can't be it. This can't be right. And so we put it away. I came home, and I've played it multiple times since I've been home, and I gotta say, every time that I've played it since that one time, I've hated it a little bit less. And to the point now where I actually think it's an okay game. I don't mind it, I don't love it, I don't hate it anymore. It's just okay for me. And I usually love these Spiel de Jahres family style games. I love, this is right in my wheelhouse. Let me tell you what I did not like about the game. For me, it felt like it was too random with very little control. The only way you actually get to control what's going on is with those desert tiles. Because when you're rolling dice, it's a random dice color and it's a random number. Everything is random. Maybe if you could have controlled what order the dice came out. Or even if you knew beforehand what order the dice were going to come out that leg, and then you'd have some more information and things like that. It just seemed like it was way too random. It's chaotic. Our last game, the orange camel was on the third tile, only in the third tile from the beginning. Everybody else had already made it past the second turn. Everyone's throwing orange lose cards in the betting, the end game betting. Orange came back and ended up winning. I mean, it was crazy. So this game is super random. Now, the randomness, so the control you don't have a whole lot of. Those desert tiles is about it, and there's so many, and I know there's a good reason why you can't just place them next to each other, because you'd have these infinite loop things going on, but there's, certain places where you can put them, so you can only adjust and try to control the game as much as, a little bit as possible, and even when you throw them down, it's still random whether they're going to get on there or not. I mean, sure, you could maybe, it's 1 in 3 chance it might land on my tile and this is going to happen. So there are some things that you can look at and say, okay, there's only 2 dice left, it's blue and white. If blue rolls first, then this could happen. If white rolls first, then this could happen. And based upon that, what am I going to guess? And it's okay. I just wish you had a little bit more control. And I understand it's a family game, but I still felt like there should have been more control here. It was crazy random for us. That being said, what it does deliver, I believe, is just, if you go in it knowing it's going to be random, there's not going to be a whole lot of strategy, you can have fun with this game. The last time we played with 6. And it's funny because some people are betting on certain camels for crazy things to happen. And when those crazy things happen, half the tables are going crazy. They're jumping up, they're yelling, yeah, they're all slapping high fives. And the other guys are going. So, and that happened multiple times in our last game. And there were a couple of times when all 5 camels were stacked on top of one tile and everyone hoots and hollers and has fun. So I guess I can see now why people would like this, why it would be fun for some families, and why it's still fun for some adults. So the last group that I played it with, they all liked it, and they all thought it was fun. None of them said they were going to go rush it on by, but they did have fun with it. Where I tend to still be a little less impressed with this, which is kind of weird because I don't mind randomness in my games, and I like family style, but this was just, I don't know. So for me, I am surprised it won the Spiel des Jahres. It's not a bad game, but if you go into it knowing there's a lot of randomness, there's not a lot of control, you'll do okay. And if you're going to play it very light like that, you could have some fun yelling and cheering. Other than that, I'm a little disappointed with those. Actually, I'm very disappointed with this one because I thought this was going to be huge for me. Well, that's it for me. Camel up.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.